All right, welcome back to LBD Library. Last month, we kicked off this exploration of $51 million business ideas, and wow, you guys really seem to dig it. I know I was super stoked about those first 17, but get this, we're just getting warmed up. Today, we're going to dive into the next batch, 17 more opportunities, and these are, well, even more diverse, and even, dare I say, more intriguing.
I think what's really cool about this next set is that they tap into some major trends that are happening right now. We're talking about niche expertise, personal branding, and this real hunger for solutions to really specific problems, especially in such a fast-changing world.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just jump right in. Okay, first up, we've got influencer marketing agencies. Now, influencer marketing has been a hot topic for a while now, so why is starting an agency such a potentially lucrative business?
I think it really comes down to results. Businesses are seeing incredible returns, like an average of $5.20 for every dollar they spend on influencer marketing. I mean, who wouldn't want that? And on top of that, the market itself is already huge. We're talking $16.4 billion, and it's only going to get bigger. It's projected to just explode to over $25 billion by 2025. So yeah, there's a ton of room to grow and make some serious bank.
So basically, these agencies are like matchmakers
Yeah.
between brands and influencers.
Exactly. They find the perfect influencers for a brand's target audience. And they handle all the nitty-gritty stuff like contracts and campaign details. Oh, and they track the results too, to make sure the brand is actually getting a return on their investment. It takes a lot of the guesswork out for businesses.
Right, makes total sense. But when starting an agency, do you think it's smarter to focus on a niche? Or go broad and work with influencers across all kinds of industries? What are the pros and cons there?
That's a really good question. If you specialize, you can become a real expert in a specific area, like let's say beauty or gaming or even sustainable living. That deep knowledge can be a magnet for clients who are looking for that specific expertise. But going broad gives you a lot more flexibility. You're not just stuck in one industry, so you can potentially work with way more clients and tap into different markets.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I can see the appeal of both approaches, for sure. Okay, moving on. Next on our list, lead nurturing agencies. This one maybe sounds a little less exciting, a little less glamorous than influencer marketing, but it's totally crucial, right, for any business that relies on generating leads and converting those leads into paying customers.
Absolutely. Forrester research found that businesses that nail lead nurturing generate 50% more sales-ready leads. And here's the kicker, they do it at a 33% lower cost. That's a complete game changer.
Wow, that's huge. So for those of us who aren't marketing experts, what exactly does lead nurturing involve?
Basically, it's all about building relationships with potential customers before they're ready to whip out their wallets. So instead of hitting them with a hard sell right away, you're providing valuable content, educating them about your product or service. You're kind of guiding them through the sales funnel at their own pace.
Ah, I get it. So it's more about building trust and making a connection rather than just like, bombarding them with sales messages.
Exactly. And that's where these lead nurturing agencies come in. They're the pros at creating these automated email sequences, personalized content, retargeting ads. They even do follow-up calls. It's all about keeping those leads engaged and moving them closer to that sale.
I see. So they become almost like an extension of the business's own sales and marketing team.
Exactly.
Why is this service in such high demand right now? What's driving the need for this?
I think it's because the reality is something like 50% of leads just aren't ready to buy the first time they hear about a business. They might be interested, sure, but they need more information, more convincing, more hand-holding before they commit to a purchase. You know what I mean? And in today's super competitive market, no business can afford to just let those leads fizzle out.
Yeah, it makes sense. You've got to nurture those leads and guide them. Okay, next up we have LinkedIn profile creation. I think we've all spent way too much time agonizing over our LinkedIn profiles, trying to make them stand out.
Oh, tell me about it. But here's the thing. There are like over 60 million decision makers on LinkedIn. That's a massive pool of potential clients, collaborators, even employers. And so many people just, I don't know, they don't realize how to really optimize their profiles to make the right impression.
So what exactly does this service, a LinkedIn profile creation service, do differently?
Well, they go way beyond just filling in the blanks. They craft these really catchy headlines that grab your attention. They write engaging summaries that highlight your skills and accomplishments. And they make sure your whole profile is optimized for search engines. So you actually show up when people are looking for someone with your expertise. They basically make you stand out from the crowd.
I like it. So it's like having a professional resume writer, but for the digital age.
Yeah, exactly. That's a
Yeah.
great way to put it. And some of them even offer extra services like personal branding consultations, content plans for your LinkedIn, even coaching on networking.
Wow, okay. So they really cover all the bases. I
Ugh.
can definitely see why this would be a winning business idea,
Yeah.
especially with so many people trying to, get ahead in their careers or build their businesses on LinkedIn. All right, next up is mindfulness coaching. Now, I'll admit, when I first saw this on the list, I was like, really? $1 million business idea.
Mm.
But then I started to think about it a little more, did a bit of research, and I was actually pretty surprised by what I found.
Right. It seems kind of niche at first glance, but the numbers tell a totally different story. The global digital health and wellness market is projected to hit a whopping, get this, $59.2 billion by 2025. And mindfulness is a big chunk of that growth. It's gone from being seen as this kind of alternative, woo-woo thing to a mainstream solution for well-being.
So it's not just for like, yogis and those hardcore meditation people anymore.
Nope. People from all walks of life are using mindfulness to handle stress, improve focus, and boost their overall well-being. And businesses are jumping on board too. Something like 80% of U.S. companies have started offering workplace wellness programs. And guess what? Mindfulness training is one of the most requested things in those programs.
Wow, that's wild. Okay. So there's a real demand for this, both for individuals and businesses. But what exactly does a mindfulness coach do? What does it actually look like?
Well, it varies, but they often teach different techniques like meditation, deep breathing exercises, mindfulness practices, stuff people can actually use in their everyday lives. Some coaches do one-on-one sessions, some lead group workshops or online courses. You can even find guided meditations and apps to help people cultivate mindfulness.
Yeah, I've seen those. Okay, so what about the financial side of things? Are people actually willing to pay for mindfulness coaching?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the American Psychological Association found that these mindfulness-based interventions can reduce stress by, get this, 30% and improve well-being in general. So people are seeing real benefits, tangible benefits, and they're willing to invest in their mental and emotional health.
That's really good to hear. All right, let's talk about niche newsletters. I've noticed more and more of these popping up lately, and some of them are insanely successful.
Yeah, it's a smart model. You know Substack, right? One of the biggest platforms for these newsletters. Well, they've got over 500,000 paid subscribers, and some creators are making over $1 million a year. That's the power of niche right there.
Yeah. $1 million from newsletters. That's incredible.
Yeah.
What's the secret? Why are these niche newsletters doing so well?
Well, it's all about that highly targeted content for a really passionate audience. Instead of trying to appeal to everyone, you zero in on a specific topic. Maybe it's like vintage watches or Korean skincare or even just indie music, whatever you're into. And you give them those valuable insights they can't find anywhere else. They're not just getting information, they're getting real expertise tailored specifically to them.
So it's all about finding your tribe and becoming their go-to source for all things, whatever that topic is.
Precisely. And then you can monetize it through subscriptions, ads, sponsorships, affiliate marketing. The real key is to build that loyal following that trusts your recommendations and is willing to pay for that special access, that unique perspective you provide.
Yeah, I get it. All right, and speaking of niche audiences, let's talk about niche YouTube channels. I mean, YouTube is massive, right?
Yeah.
Is there really room for new creators to find success on a platform that's already so saturated?
You'd be surprised. YouTube has, get this, over 2.7 billion monthly users globally. That's insane. And that means there's a potential audience for basically every niche you can imagine. And here's the thing, niche channels actually have some advantages over those broader channels.
Really, like, why is going niche a good strategy on a platform like YouTube?
Well, they tend to get way higher engagement. You attract this dedicated audience, people who are genuinely interested in your specific content. And that leads to more views, comments, shares. You build a stronger sense of community.
Okay, I see. So it's about finding that sweet spot on YouTube, that little corner that you can own and become the go-to expert for.
Exactly. And don't even get me started on the money. The monetization potential is huge. You can make money through ads, sponsorships. Remember, 88% of marketers are using influencer marketing these days. And then there's affiliate marketing too. Some niche channels are making anywhere from like $5,000 to $50,000 per month.
Wow, that's a lot of avocado toast. Okay, up next is online charity fundraising. This one really stood out to me because it's such a great example of doing well by doing good, right?
Totally. And there's a huge need for this kind of expertise. Charity Navigator found that something like 61% of nonprofits are struggling with digital fundraising. They know it's important, but a lot of them just don't have the people or the skills to create effective online campaigns.
So you could be their digital fundraising hero.
Yeah.
What would that look like? What kinds of things would an online charity fundraiser actually do?
It's a blend of strategy, creativity, and technical skills. You might help them set up online donation pages, create email marketing campaigns that really resonate, manage their social media, or you can even help them launch crowdfunding campaigns. Tap into those online communities. It's all about helping them reach a wider audience and raise as much as they can online.
That sounds really rewarding for sure. But are nonprofits actually willing to pay for this?
You bet. Fundraising and grant making found that 80% of nonprofits say they need more help with online donations and campaigns. They're realizing that digital fundraising isn't just a nice to have anymore, it's make or break for a lot of them.
It makes sense. Okay, let's shift gears for a minute and talk about online public relations, or, online PR, as the cool kids call it. This seems like something that every business needs to be on top of these days.
Oh, absolutely. In today's digital world with social media, online reviews, and everything happening online, a business's online reputation can literally make or break them.
Yeah, no kidding. So it's not just about sending out those old school press releases anymore. What does online PR actually entail these days?
Well, it's all about strategically shaping the story around a brand online. It means building relationships with online media, influencers, bloggers, all of that. You got to secure positive coverage, monitor what's being said about the brand on different platforms, and of course, deal with any negative press or bad reviews that might come up.
So it's like a constant juggling act.
Pretty much.
What are some of the biggest challenges businesses face with online PR? Why do they need help with this?
Well, I think one of the biggest hurdles is just keeping up with the sheer volume of conversations online. You know, everything moves so fast in the digital world. A single bad review or a viral social media post can just blow up out of proportion if you don't handle it the right way. That's why having a solid online PR strategy and someone who knows how to implement it is so crucial.
Right. You got to get ahead of the story before it gets ahead of you.
Exactly. And honestly, for most businesses, online PR can be really time consuming. It takes a lot of dedicated effort, and a lot of companies just don't have the resources to handle it all themselves. So they turn to the experts, the specialists who can take over and manage their online reputation for them.
That makes sense. Speaking of managing your online image, let's talk about online reputation management. Is that different from online PR?
It is, though they're definitely connected. Think of it like this. Online PR is more about being proactive, building your brand, shaping the story you want people to hear. While online reputation management is more about damage control and building trust, it's about monitoring those online reviews, responding to negative feedback, and creating positive content to counterbalance anything negative that might be out there.
So it's about making sure that when someone searches for your business online, they find good stuff, not bad stuff.
Yeah.
Trustworthy information, not something that's going to scare them away.
Exactly. And it's super important because people rely so heavily on those online reviews, before they make a purchase or choose a business. Bright Local did a study and found that 79% of consumers trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation from a friend or family member.
Wow, that's a lot of trust.
It is. And the Harvard Business Review actually did a study too, and they found that a one-star increase in Yelp ratings can boost a business's revenue by 9%.
Whoa, that's a big difference.
Yep.
So managing your online reputation isn't just about protecting your image. It can have a real impact on your bottom line.
Absolutely. And as consumers become even more reliant on those online reviews and social media for making decisions, this whole online reputation management thing is only going to become more important. More and more businesses are going to need help with this.
For sure. Okay, let's talk about personal branding. It seems like everyone's trying to build their own personal brand these days. Is this just a trend? Or is it really crucial for success, in today's world?
I think it's way more than just a trend. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with information and choices, a strong personal brand can help you stand out. It can build trust, credibility, and attract the right kind of attention. And it's not just for those like super famous people anymore. It's important for entrepreneurs, freelancers, job seekers, really anyone who wants to stand out and create a name for themselves.
So what exactly does personal branding involve? How do you actually go about building a personal brand?
It's about creating a unique and authentic image for yourself online. It's about identifying what makes you special, what you're good at, what you're passionate about, and then showing that to the world, showcasing it in a way that resonates with the people you want to reach, whether that's potential clients, employers, collaborators.
So it's about becoming known for something, Something specific that sets you apart.
Exactly.
But why is it so important? Why are people so obsessed with this whole personal branding thing these days?
I think it's because online, first impressions are everything. Your online presence, it's like your virtual storefront, your digital resume. And people are way more likely to do business with, hire, or work with someone they know, like, and trust. A strong personal brand helps build that trust and makes you seem more credible.
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
And there's data to back this up too. Nielsen did a study and found that 92% of consumers trust recommendations from individuals over brands. People want to connect with people. They want to see the human behind the brand.
Right. We naturally gravitate toward people we can relate to. But this whole personal branding thing, it can be so overwhelming. Where do you even start?
Well, it all starts with figuring out what your brand is. What are your strengths? What are your passions? What do you want to be known for? Once you have a good grasp on that, you can start building a consistent online presence that reflects your brand.
Yeah.
Choosing the right social media platforms, creating good content, engaging with your followers, building relationships with people in your field.
It's a lot.
It can be, for sure. But that's why there are so many personal branding agencies out there. They can help with every step of the process, from defining your brand to creating content to managing social media.
So if you're feeling a bit lost, there's definitely help available.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
A lot of these are perfect for that whole digital nomad lifestyle. You could run these from anywhere. A beach in Bali, a cafe in Paris. You know what I mean?
That's such a good point. So many of these are all about using the internet and tech.
Yeah.
So you're not stuck in one place. You could literally work from anywhere in the world. Okay, switching gears a little bit. Let's talk about pitch deck creation. I'll admit, when I first saw this, I thought, wait, $1 million business just from making pitch decks.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it, a good pitch deck is crucial for any startup trying to get funding.
It really is. It's their biggest sales tool, really. It's their chance to grab the attention of investors, get the money they need to make their vision a reality. A great pitch deck can be the difference between success and failure. For a startup, I mean.
So what does a pitch deck creator actually do? Is it just like making a fancy PowerPoint, or is there more to it?
Oh, it's way more than just slides. They're like storytellers. They work with their clients to build a narrative that really showcases the potential of the business. They know how to highlight the things investors want to see, like what problem they're solving, their solution, the market opportunity, the team, and of course the financial.
Right, so it's not just about presenting the information. It's got to tell a story. Investors need to be convinced.
Exactly. A great pitch deck needs to hook them from the first slide and keep them engaged all the way through.
I get it. But do businesses actually pay for this? Is there a real market for this kind of service?
Definitely pitch.com, that platform for pitch decks, they found that 95%, yeah, 95% of venture capitalists say a good pitch deck is essential when they're deciding whether to invest.
So basically, a professionally made pitch deck can be the deciding factor in getting funding.
Yeah, pretty much Forbes even said that a really good pitch deck can boost a startup's chances of getting funded by 50%.
Wow, that's huge. So if you're good at design, you can tell a good story, and you understand what investors want. This could be a really good business opportunity.
It's a niche market, for sure, but there's definitely money to be made. And as more and more startups pop up looking for funding, this is only going to become more in demand. Okay, let's move on to another one that I think is really interesting, podcast agencies.
I knew you'd like this one. I mean, podcasts are everywhere these days. It seems like everyone has one.
It's crazy how much it's grown. Statista actually predicts that the global podcasting market will hit $4 billion by 2024.
$4 billion. That's a lot of people listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
Okay, but what do these podcast agencies actually do?
They pretty much do it all to help clients launch and manage their podcasts. Everything from coming up with the concept and finding the right equipment to booking guests, recording, editing, creating all the marketing stuff, and promoting the podcast to get more listeners.
So they handle all the behind-the-scenes stuff so the client can focus on the content.
Yep, exactly. And podcast hosts found that over half of podcast creators, 52% to be exact, are already using professional production services.
Wow, so there's definitely a need for this. Why do you think podcasters need this kind of help?
Well, making a high-quality podcast takes a lot of work. It's not just about recording and uploading an episode. There's a ton of planning, editing, marketing, all that stuff. It's a lot to handle, especially if you're trying to do it all yourself, on top of everything else you've got going on.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to run a business or have a full-time job. It's hard to be consistent when you're juggling so many things.
Right. And consistency is key with podcasts. You got to keep putting out new episodes to keep your listeners engaged. And that's where these agencies come in. They take care of all the time-consuming stuff so the podcaster can focus on making great content.
Okay, next up, we've got productivity consulting. This one seems super relevant right now. Everyone's feeling overwhelmed. There's just so much to do, not enough time.
It's a service that so many people need, both individuals and businesses. Actually, Markets and Markets predicts that the global market for productivity management software will reach almost $100 billion by 2025.
100 billion. So businesses are clearly investing in this too. Okay, but what exactly does a productivity consultant do? How do they help?
It's all about finding ways to work smarter, not harder. They work with people to figure out what their biggest productivity roadblocks are and then create a plan to overcome them. This might involve things like streamlining their workflows, improving time management skills, finding better ways to communicate, or even just helping them pick the right productivity apps.
So it's about more than just working longer hours. It's about being more efficient and intentional with your time.
Exactly. And a study by Evernote found that 57% of professionals feel completely overwhelmed by their workload. So this is a real problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, I can relate. So there's definitely a need for this.
Yeah.
And it's only going to grow as work demands increase and the line between work and life gets blurrier.
For sure. Okay, let's talk about another business that's perfect for the rise of remote work and online businesses. Remote support agencies.
As more and more businesses move online, this just makes sense.
It does. Global e-commerce sales are expected to hit $6.3 trillion by 2024. That's a massive market, and they're all going to need support.
Yeah, absolutely. So what exactly do these remote support agencies offer?
They offer a ton of different services. Customer service, technical support, order processing, live chat, email support, you name it. They're basically a virtual extension of the business, providing support to customers from anywhere in the world.
So it's like having your own support team, but without the hassle of actually managing a team.
Exactly, and it's way more cost-effective. Businesses don't have to pay for office space, benefits, all that stuff. They just pay for the support they need.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
But can they really provide the same level of service as an in-house team?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, a lot of them specialize in creating amazing customer experiences. They know that good support is crucial for building loyalty and getting repeat business. Plus, because they're remote, they can often offer 24/7 support, which is a big win for global businesses.
That's huge for companies with customers all over the world. Okay, let's talk about something that's totally changed the software game. SaaS, or software as a service.
This has become the go-to model for software companies now, and for good reason. The global SaaS market is predicted to hit $436.9 billion by 2025. That's insane.
Wow, that's a lot of software. So break it down for me. What is SaaS exactly? How's it different from regular software?
So with traditional software, you buy a license, install it on your computer, and that's it. You own that version until there's an update. But SaaS is totally different. The software is hosted on the provider's servers, and you access it online through a subscription. So you pay a monthly or annual fee to use it.
So it's like renting software instead of buying it.
Yep, exactly. And this has some big advantages for both the software company and the customer.
Like what?
Well, for software companies, the biggest thing is the recurring revenue. Instead of getting paid once, they get a steady stream of income from subscriptions. It's a much more stable business model, and they don't have to worry about people pirating their software. For customers, it's about accessibility. You can use the software from anywhere, on any device, as long as you have internet. And it's more affordable, too. You don't have to pay a huge upfront cost to buy the software. Plus, you can easily scale up or down as your needs change.
I see. So it's a win-win for everyone. Okay, let's move on to another big one. Social media ad management. This seems super important, but also really intimidating,
That's a specialized skill set, that's for sure. But it's in super high demand. Global spending on social media ads is projected to reach over $230 billion by 2024.
230 billion. So businesses are definitely taking this seriously. What exactly does a social media ad manager do, though?
They're the ones who make sure those ads are actually effective. They develop strategies, write the copy, design the visuals, target the right audience, and then they track the results to see what's working and what's not.
So they're like the social media marketing wizards.
Pretty much. And they're in high demand, too. LinkedIn's 2023 job report found that social media manager roles are some of the most sought after in digital marketing.
So if you're good at this, you'll have no problem finding a job.
Nope. And it's not as easy as it looks. HubSpot, that big marketing software company, found that 70% of marketers struggle to create high-performing social media ads. It's definitely an art and a science.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, last but not least, we have software testing. Now, this might not sound as glamorous as some of the others, but it's a critical part of creating good software.
It's essential. Think about it. Software is everywhere these days. We use it for everything. And when software fails, it can be a huge problem.
For sure. So software testers are like the quality control experts, making sure everything works
Well,
properly.
exactly. They work with developers throughout the process to find and fix any bugs, glitches, or anything that could cause problems. They're the ones who make sure the software is ready for the world.
So they're like the unsung heroes of the tech world.
I guess you could say that. And the market for software testing is huge. It's projected to reach $60 billion by 2025.
60 billion. That's incredible. Why do you think this area is growing so fast?
Well, software is getting more and more complex, right? So there's more room for error, plus the stakes are higher than ever. Software failures can cost businesses a ton of money or even put people at risk. So companies are realizing that it's worth investing in testing to make sure their software is top-notch.
Yeah, it's cheaper to fix a problem before it becomes a disaster.
Exactly. And as software continues to dominate our lives, the demand for good software testers is only going to increase. Yeah.
For sure. Well, this has been an awesome deep dive into some really interesting business ideas. It's really exciting to see how many opportunities there are out there, especially in the digital world.
Yeah, it really is a great time to be an entrepreneur. There's so much potential, and so many of these businesses can be started without a ton of money or resources.
That's great to hear. It means that anyone with a good idea and a willingness to work hard can make it happen. But don't forget, this is only part 2 of our 3-part series on million-dollar business ideas.
We've got one more episode coming up next month where we'll reveal the final 17 businesses that could make you a millionaire by 2025.
So make sure you tune in next month for the grand finale. And in the meantime,
Head over to lbdlibrary.com. You'll find tons of great resources on digital marketing, news, reviews, articles, interviews with experts, everything you need to stay ahead of the game.
thanks for joining us for this deep dive into million-dollar business ideas. We'll see you next month for the final 17.